Assalamualaikum semua. Selamat datang kepada Seekers Nest Media dalam sesi Seekers Beraya. Saya Indra Sahib bersama co-host kami iaitu Shayma Al-Kaf akan menemani anda semua dalam petang yang mulia ini dalam sesi sembang-sembang beraya dengan sahabat-sahabat dan tetamu khas kami, insya-Allah. Dan pada pengetahuan penonton-penonton yang menonton, kami sekarang sedang live pada sesi Seekers Beraya ini. Dan insya-Allah tanpa kita membuang masa, bersama kami ada sebuah tetamu dan bersama keluarga beliau. Dan insya-Allah mari kita sama-sama mendengarkan sesi sembang-sembang Hari Raya ini bersamanya Abang Farid dan keluarga. Assalamualaikum Abang Farid.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Apa khabar tuan?
Baik bang, sihat
Alhamdulillah baik. How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah, masya-Allah. How's your family semua? Sihat dia?
Good. Kita semua surviving. Okay. I think like a lot of other Singaporean and people around the world also who is affected by this pandemic.
Alhamdulillah, masya-Allah. Jadi kita nak tanyakan sikitlah sebagai pembukaan. Memang I think semua orang memang mengalami situasi yang sama. Lagi-lagi pada tahun ini kita semua beraya dekat rumah. Jadi memang kita dah tahulah dia punya outcome dan sebagainya kan. Tapi kita nak dengar sendiri daripada Abang Farid, because I believe you have a very big family, you and your wife, and have a very big family. That is something that we envy lah kan, masya-Allah. And bagaimana suasana first day raya tu, and how you all organize as a big family to celebrate that first day of raya?
Actually, we started off our last day of iftar, our last day of buka puasa lah. So after we buka, after solat maghrib, then we fix a time with all the family to actually takbir ramai-ramai by Zoom. So that's what we did. I think about 8 o'clock or something like that. 8:30 we started to Zoom. Every family participated, so everyone get a chance to takbir lah, as a family, lepas tu kita ramai-ramai lah cubalah. Obviously teknologi ni, walaupun teknologi tu bagus kan, tapi adalah dia punya shortfall dia lah, macam ada what you call delay, those kind of things lah. But we have to make do with the situation right now. Unfortunately, the usual practice for our family is actually last iftar would be at my mother-in-law's house, and then with everyone there, and then after iftar then we will buka. After buka then we will solat. After solat then we start takbir lah, but because of this situation, then every family will be at their own homes, and we use whatever means Zoom lah, atau Microsoft Teams ke, so like that lah. So that is the alternative that we are doing now. The other ones, I think what we are practicing also is that between the family also we are exchanging foods and all lah.
Alhamdulillah, masya-Allah. But I just want to check, usually kalau normal practices macam previous years nak tanya Kak Frida jugalah, usually practices for yang previous years, malam raya berkumpul dekat rumah mak, selalu berapa ramai tu orang yang berkumpul dalam satu rumah tu?
Okay, my siblings with their extended families, which is their in-law, daughter-in-laws and all, about 40 of us, 40 plus, near to 50 of us. So it has been on where we will all gather. Normally Mama will cook everything, but now of course Mama getting aging, so we start doing potluck, so all of us will bring dishes. We will do our last iftar together as a big family. So with this situation going on, so Abang Sudir, being the oldest, he says we will still maintain the takbir, but we do through via streaming lah, Zooming. We did that. So we try to do, we try to maintain our rituals, but there's some diversion lah. Macam Masa Raya, we still do the full pledge masak, Then kita hantar rumah abang di kanting, then we exchange, and then abang Sudi buat kita ketupat di kanting. We try as much as not be so affected by it. So we are coping. Like Hari Raya pun kita buat, even though for the family, but we do it, Also to keep the spirit up for the kids also lah, after dia dah puasa semua kan. So we try to to have that festive mode lah, even like alhamdulillah, I think this is the first time I could say we get to tarawih the whole family for the whole month of Ramadan. The whole family of us, we did that together.
MashaAllah.
So there's something good came out of it also, I see, because Farid, he can lead. Sometimes when he does go to the masjid, then I'm left behind, that kind of thing. But this time round, I felt appreciating that we get to do the whole family with my boys, and my daughter also joined, and then with my mother-in-law. So we have good things came out of it also, which we are trying to make the best out of it lah.
We are appreciative lah. There is blessing in everything that has happened.
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. So the practice that been that way, as I say, buka iftar about 50 of us. So this time round, each of us do in our own house, and I believe all of us did the same practice. Kita buka dengan lauk-lauk Hari Raya. This is what my mom and practice, So every time by Raya, we have all the ketupat, rendang all prepared, because we do our last iftar with lauk Hari Raya. So that also we have been, I and Farid also practice that, and my siblings does that. So it's something that we also carry on this year. So alhamdulillah, I see my siblings do the same thing.
Saying about family practice, I mean it's a very unique punya gathering for you and your adik-beradik, including your your mother. I just want to ask this question, maybe kakak boleh tolong enlighten the guests, and maybe kita pun boleh follow your footstep insyaAllah. Siapa exactly yang pengasas bagi malam raya ni semua berkumpul, family members bertakbir for previous years lah? Siapa yang pengasas bagi majlis itu?
So okay, let me interject sikit. My wife Malay pun boleh agak lah. Asas is the one who coordinates, the main.
Oh, okay. We all starting my arwah dad.
Oh yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, correct.
Arwah dad was who start off, is it?
Yeah, who start off? Yes, correct.
Okay. It was my arwah dad. Even before we were married, he did that practice. So he made sure my mom would do all the cooking before 5, 6. And all of us only family buka, and also with the influence that time when we start off with Ustaz Fuad join us. That time before he was married also, we will invite him as special guest, and my Arato Japon also come down. We will buka together. It started from there when we were in Marine Parade when we started, and I was in my teens, and he has never been stopped till today. Even till this year with the situation of COVID, we still practice the same, but separate household.
Something new.
But by spirit, by spirit we are all together, and we showcase it by zooming and do the takbir individually. And all my nephews was already married, having their own house, own family, takbir also. So we put that onto them also lah. So we are hopeful that our children will follow the same thing.
MashaAllah.
Maybe they can't get together, but at least they start off from their family as well lah. Inshallah, I think it's a good practice, because Ramadan is all about being all together, and then it's so nice to invite Shawwal, the whole family all together. I think it's a nice feeling. For me, it's a special feeling lah.
MashaAllah.
So
it's a very unique tradition, I would say. Not many household that can practice in that manner. And pasal lah kita semua kalau malam raya semua sibuk kan, masing-masing dengan keluarga masing-masing nak have the final touch up of rumah dan sebagainya. And for you all together and macam bertakbir pada malam raya, and it's something very inspiring for us and for whoever is watching now, and maybe they can future practice this insyaAllah among their own families, masyaAllah.
I think there are a lot of family also in Singapore also doing the same ritual also lah. Is within family. It doesn't. I mean, it can be a big family, it can be a small family, as long as within a family. Sometimes also family friends, close friends to the family, they may join in if they are, if they don't have the like extended families and all. So sometimes we do that also lah. is all welcoming lah. The idea is tradition, as the word itself is something that's been passed on from generation to generation. So we will try to instill this to our children also, and hopefully to our grandchildren and all, and see if they can follow up with this tradition. It's not easy, but obviously we have to start somewhere. That's one.
Mashallah, mashallah. I mean, it's beautiful to see lah, mashallah. It's a good message also from both of you, and I think it's for us also to reflect that kita ni still live in a very positive environment with families and sebagainya. Dan talking about positive, how is situation ataupun situation like for both of you during the time of circuit breaker, and also now we are in this COVID-19 year of the sadness of this year has been spread worldwide lah. So how are you all coping with it?
Our home front wise, we are of course curbing our kids movement, the boys especially. I got teenagers. Alhamdulillah, kebetulan diorang pun dah graduate, so it start off gradually. They were in their graduation period where they don't need to go to school, and then with Abdullah just joined poly as per end of April. I think they start doing online straight away. So in fact, for my daughter primary school, we are doing HBL, home-based learning. So of course parents, we have to participate, we have to step in now. But of course the teachers are always behind us, because sometimes like things I'm not sure, they are always online with us. So basically education wise, my kids are not interrupted, alhamdulillah. It's just that we as a parent, we have to be more hands on. Not like last time, kita hantar 7:30, we send them at the gate of the school, and we just leave and we start doing on housework. So like now, since Aisha is around, I have to manage HBL. I also have to kind of like juggle my housework and her being at home, I make sure certain time things are done. So I won't say disruption, it's just that we have to manage time management. As my husband will say, have good time management. And for our boys also, I think it's quite tough for them, being away from friends, because at this age, they will have their social punya requirements lah, I would say, with their friends.
Yeah, true.
I think they're coping by of course gaming, because now they are tengah ROD mood kan, belum kena call army semua. So they are gaming with their cousins, and I heard some with their old friends. And then I heard over time they were also talking online with some strangers, which I cautioned them. Even their boys, I cautioned them. I said, who are they? And then I said voices which I'm not familiar. I prompt them. Basically, as a parent, I think we have to kind of like be vigilant. We cannot just leave it like that. So I did prompt them. I said, who are they? They will say, oh, some stranger, random person. I said, okay. And then I kind of like pause. I said, okay, don't you have to be aware. Be wary about these people. Not everyone is transparent. They always have agenda. So be cautious. I can't say no, because they will still do it behind our back. But but I just pre-warn them. These are the things.
This is this is not a setback lah. I mean, this is one area where all of us should be on guard. You see, when most of us are at home, especially our children, they have easy access to all this internet and so on. And when they are regularly or most of their time they spend online, that's where things from one thing lead to another, like Facebook and so on. And after that, then they go in chat with like you said, people like they hardly knew. And these are the things that because due to the situation or boredomness that we face at home, sometimes this also can lead to these such things to occur lah.
Correct.
But having said that, it's true. We try to curb them. But as a parent, you have to kind of like macam prompt them lah. Macam tanya, who are they? You cannot just buat bodoh and then pretend nothing happened, or don't. I mean macam take it for granted. That's when it was true. But if you keep on like that, for me, I think as a parent, we who's that? What are you doing? Be careful. They also start to. Oh yeah, true. Sometimes it doesn't trigger. To them, it's just a random person. They can just talk. To them, it's harmless. So
Yes.
we being conscious, and I'm a little bit being very paranoid. I was just said, no, these people sometimes they have ill intentions. You don't know what's going on. So then at least remind them to put on a guard. You are
Yeah,
okay
true.
to do it, but be careful. So when it goes somewhere you are uncomfortable with, you must know how to retrieve or withdraw.
Yeah.
So
True.
as a parent, I think we cannot just buat bodoh lah. We have to actually they might say we are busybody, but we still have to kind of like
Intervene lah.
intervene lah. We cannot just buat
I
bodoh.
think at the end of the day is just a reminder lah. I mean,
Yes, reminder lah.
we do have to also understand that boredom lah. Kita pun sendiri boredom juga kat rumah kan. Tengok bini hari-hari pun nanti bini pun nak menyampah pun. So I think with my two big boys, because they are fresh graduates from the polytechnic, and then they had plans to go for a graduation trip, and suddenly it's not out of the window because there's no travel and all. And not just that, also they are not allowed to go out of the house unnecessarily. So that becomes very very a sudden big change for them lah. So gaming lah, online lah, internet lah, semua tu memang is natural for them because they are these are the generation which are very involved in online things. But as parents, we just need to remind them, that's about it.
Yeah.
InsyaAllah lah.
Talking about being parents and then after that adjusting to all these home based punya learning, home based punya things. I mean, you yourself as a working personnel in the education system, Abang Farid, how are you adjusting, right, conducting your classes or maybe conducting your session online and also now at home?
Okay, so the Polytechnic has prepared us before it went into a full circuit breaker. The software or means and ways how to conduct online classes. We have online classes prepared for every semester, even before this COVID-19 situation. But it's only every semester is only rolled out for 1 week only. So 1 week too, students they're not supposed to be in campus. They're supposed to be at home accessing online learning stuff and all. But alhamdulillah, with that we transit into a full HBL. Well, it is not very macam we were all taken by surprise lah. Okay, suddenly management say okay, it's going to be 100% home-based learning. So then we have to make adjustment. One of the things is biggest challenge for me is recording. Ustaz, also I don't know whether you share this sentiment with me. When we are conducting live face-to-face classes, for example, it's a different ambience and feeling as opposed to when you record it. You have a bunch of slides that you record, whatever is on the slide, moving on, so on and so forth. But when we are in a lecture theatre, when we deliver the lectures, we can digress a bit here and there. We get really to see the feeling, the reaction of the student, whether they understand, they don't understand. They can have opportunity to raise up their hand to actually ask questions. It could be silly question, but still question that can lead to more other questions.
Progressive way thoughts lah.
So that is one challenge. So as much as I try to be candid during my recorded session, because all lectures these days are recorded, pre-recorded, and then loaded up to the learning system, and then they just access it in the learning system at their own time to look at the lectures. And then in tutorial only that we actually get to be in a virtual class, and ask, they can ask questions. So one thing is that in the education point of view, obviously online learning, we cannot say that there is no loss of information or loss of learning. There would be some degree of loss, not much, maybe about 10-15% of loss as opposed to face to face.
Then
I think
the long
it's a two-way thing lah. It's a two-way thing because when you are having your live lectures with the students, there's a two-way communication. You get to see them, and then whereas if you do online, you have to be formal. You got to make sure that you put everything in. You have a limited time to fill up. Yeah, so I think that is also one of the challenges lah that's being faced. Yeah, and then also I think maybe we've come across some funny videos of how students try to cheat their way into so-called paying attention during the online lecture. So we've seen videos like there is one very funny where the student like they pretend like as if their internet is stuck. So I think it's like like that. So they try to like make that kind of so that they try to avoid answering the question, or they take a video of themselves actually looking into the camera. Then they put like what you call it, like the stand. Then they just put it on the camera, and then they lie down and sleep on the bed, that kind of thing. So all these funny things are actually going on. So yeah, it's interesting.
In one perspective, you look at it as, yalah, budak-budak ni nak Skype lah. They want to Skype, they find means and way. But on the other perspective is actually this is the time that they actually come up and be creative. No, they got to do something. So that's one thing lah. So we noticed that. But for us, that's why we to avoid those things, we actually do a pre-recorded lectures lah. So at any time that you access the learning system, go through the pre-recorded lectures before your actual tutorial session. So they would have to, like it or not, sometimes they would have to, they can skip and jump into the important parts, or they can repeat whatever they want to do, as long as they have an access. It is not easy. I mean, we have to have our own kids. They need to be disciplined also. Sometimes I myself sometimes also can kalang kabut juga lah. Sometimes when we are so engrossed in doing something, and then we have to go online for the tutorial session and all that stuff. So
I think I can share I can share the same sentiment as a student lah, because when I was doing my final semester, I did distance learning. So I came back to Singapore, and because I think my visa was already expiring, so I had to come back to Singapore, and I did distance learning. So it gets quite challenging in a sense that you can fall asleep lah when you listen, because we listen to audio lectures. So like after a while, it gets a bit draggy and everything. But then you have the freedom of actually rewinding back to catch what the lecturer said, that kind of thing. That's more for my case. It's the lecturer's accent is Australian, it's thick. So we get that benefit, but also the downside of being a student like learning online is that you don't quite get exactly what the lecturer wants out of your assignment. So you can communicate with them, but at the end also it's best to really talk to them face to face, and to have exactly what they want out of the assignment or something like that. So that could be one of the challenges.
Exactly. So distance learning also is a big challenge. During my time, distance learning, internet takes forever to load out. Okay, there's no recorded lectures and all that stuff. They just throw you the books. Okay, you just read the book, and then they give you also maybe some help in terms of, okay, these are the other extra books that you may want to read. So it's just purely reading, and then you probably, the only way that we can communicate with our tutors or lecturers is just sending an email. Okay, that's our internet back then was very, very bad. So for me, what I did was, and that module that I did when I was doing distance learning was something that I'm not very familiar with, which is business and management. I'm actually in aviation, so when I kena business and management, I macam apa benda ni? But one thing about human being human, as of what we are facing also right now, we are adaptable. We need to be adaptable, should I say. So what I did was I I hook up with my local friends, like yourself also, Shayma. I had to come back on my final year. I chose to come back for my final year semester. So when I came back, I actually hook up with my friends that are in a local uni, and especially those who did business and management degree courses. So that was the only way. So at the end of the day, is also the part of the student, how they want to maneuver forward to actually want to learn or not.
I guess I have something to add on to this. I think relating to this current time, I guess students face more challenges in terms of learning. Like you said, Abang Farid, physical class will be the best lah. Physical tutorials or physical lecturing will be the best approach, where student can interact with the lecturers and so on. But looking now, in the next coming 6 months or next coming 5 months, wallahu alam how the situation going to improve on from here. I think this platform will still stay, and students have to learn from this online platform where, like you said, there will be a loss of quality a bit in terms of deliverance, in terms of in terms of the receiving of knowledge, or understanding the knowledge is another aspect of how the student approach. So I want to pose this discussion. Going back to the platform that we have now, right? Moving forward, how can one student, right, benefit in order for him to excel at this current time, especially at this in this moving forward from this next 6 months onwards?
So in my humble opinion, I think one thing that one important ingredient is to instill the characteristic of wanting to learn, hunger to learn. So that is one of the main characteristics that should be instilled into kids from at a young age. Okay, so they are always asking why. So when they were small, they asked this question, endlessly. We had a couple of nephews and nieces. So to name one, Haziq, Abang Suday's second son. Okay, when he was young, he asked so many whys. We had to tell him, okay, stop. Okay, but
Sounds like my first son.
Yeah, like our
what we have noticed in Haziq is that he's smart.
very
Always thinking, apa ni benda ni, apa ni, why is like that, why is it this? So went to the zoo, it was like the why is like 1001 whys. Why is it like that? Why is it like this? So we see him grow up, and then academically he was, I would say, he's above average, So this shouldn't be stopped. Okay, so we should encourage. And obviously, when they grow up, there will be other priorities and other interests. But how can we, as parents or as educators or teachers and all, how can we continue to support this characteristic in our children, our students, and all? This why must, because the lacking of asking. One of the things in Singapore is that we are relying too much on tuition, relying too much on passive questions, a lot of rote learning. So there's no, the hunger. There is some hunger, but not totally, as opposed to Westerners or the Masali. When they look at certain theories, they will question the theory itself. Even the theory is solid, okay, or how the aircraft flies. It's really, everybody has really come up with the theories, but they always question, why is it like that? Why can't it be like this? So this is something that's lacking in our, I won't say our community only, but I guess Singaporean as a whole. That's my opinion.
It's more of passive learning as opposed to active learning. Yeah, and also I think maybe it might be another challenging thing for the students is that because they are at home, they're on their own, they are so used to, having study groups, study together. That's how they motivate, one another to excel and also to improve. Because some of them actually rely on this social aspect, of studying together. It's actually the fun in it, and also at the same time it's what they are so used to it. They are so used to it. You see. So this also is something that I think that our students, not just say the students, but in their like outside of school life, it's a part of them already. Being social is a part of them because like being at home, it's different lah. It's different. I mean, like you said lah, like tengok isteri menyampah, so they look at their own adik-beradik, hari-hari pun menyampah juga, that kind of thing. So it can be like that also lah, because it's something that we probably need to get used to lah. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to sorry. Go ahead, Abang Farid. Go ahead. Yeah.
So there must be some balance lah. I do not have the answer in terms of if you are talking about this pandemic. No, everybody having to stay at home. I think every family will have their recipe of how to manage. It's not a one-off recipe. My family will be different, your family will be different, other families will be also different, because their challenges, each and every family's challenges is different. We have also come across students that do not have internet access at home. How do we deal with them? Or students that have internet access at home, but they have limited machines, laptop to work with. Then there's another challenge also. So obviously, if you see and read the news, domestic violence also are on the rise. There are other things that's on the rise as opposed to when situation is normal. When, like I said, how do we comfort or come up with a solution? Every family have to have to weigh their pros and cons and their priorities and all. Obviously, also one of the other things. So I think, like, in my humble opinion, also, Alhamdulillah, we had this CD. It coincides with Ramadan. Like it or not, we have to exercise a lot of patience. Sabar, banyak sabar pasal semuanya kita berpuasa kan. So that is a big part lah in terms of in the Muslim family. I guess there's lesser reported domestic violence as opposed to any other families.
I mean, I just want to divert a bit. I mean, since we are talking about difficulties and all this current thing that is going on through this pandemic, I believe one industry that really hit our the world economy would be our airline industry. I mean, just to touch on that, allow me to actually pose a few questions on that. How, I mean, nak tanya kakak sendiri lah. How do you feel, right? I mean, this sudden change in this economy for kita pay airline industry itself.
It will affect a lot lah. Okay, people lose jobs. People have to find they have to change their own calling lah. Basically, macam if they are so used to aviation, if opportunity is taken away from you, like they are retrenched or they are out of job, people have to be a little bit more, I would say, resourceful lah. You have to look out to something else. In fact, we just had a conversation 2-3 days ago, because kebetulan both of my boys are in aviation, like Abang Farid. So I just asked Abang, where are our kids? They are graduates now. I look at it, is alhamdulillah, now they are supposed to serve the army. Yeah, for instance, they have to be serving the country, so called. So within these difficult times, there'll be some besides them. My question was, dear, what happened to people who graduate and now just habis army? Now they're looking for career now, and they are from his aviation line, macam could be from Singapore Poly or even from Poly. So what happened to the students? I asked him, So that's when he shared with me that even I think his school are also looking into like internship not only aviation industry, different industry, where they have to be a little bit macam open-minded lah to change their ways. Whatever they study, they can apply to their working life, their future working life. But it'll be on a different industry. So I have worries for my children. You know, they are boys. They were on aviation, and then they're gonna, you know,
Pursue.
after army they have to look for a job, because we look at it. Yeah, we look at it like this will affect about. It's not gonna be overnight. It'll be 3 to 4 years for us to recover. Having that, people who travel gonna be the cut off will be so much lesser. The demand of traveling is so much lesser. So it's just a domino effect lah, you know. So there's less demand. People will be a lot out of job, and then what is there for them? And then, you know, people will have to be resourceful like now. Zooming and all, people would travel less because it make convenient. You can do you know, video conferencing and everything. So
on the whole, I think on the whole, if I may just interject, on the whole, with this pandemic, aviation industry is like any global financial recession or any global downturn. The aviation industry is always the worst hit industry, and they are always the last industry to recover. So with this, this is very bad, very bad. That if you see reports, there are legacy airlines. Legacy airline means what? Like SIA, like Lufthansa, or a lot of national airlines. They are going bankrupt. Okay? They're going bankrupt. All the private airlines or low cost carriers, some of them are really bankrupt already. They're really bankrupt already. So with that, you will see that close down already. So that will translate, meaning that retrenchment or out of jobs, so on and so forth. Even aircraft manufacturers such as Boeing and Airbus, they are also going to announce job cuts. So no new planes going to be made. Not much flying is going to be happening. From, if we compare from last time was 100%. Now it's going to drop down to more than 50%. Maybe only 40% or even 30%. So that has a global economical impact in the whole chain. So in terms of fresh graduates or graduates, we believe that whatever that you have done, be it a very niche, very specific diploma or degree, you can still apply it to other industry. You want to go into manufacturing, or you want to go into finance, or you want to go into whatever industry. Not everything, you have to relearn a lot of things, but you can apply certain things that you have learned from your own courses into those new industries. So again here, if you remember, I said earlier on just now, we have to be adaptable. We are forced to be adaptable, and that's one of the things that in the police we actually instill in our students, that you must be able to be change ready. You must be able to adapt fast. Those kind of things.
I think the industry for airline, like we have discussed, it will be the first industry that will be affected, and the last industry that can be recovered, right? But at the same time also, the airline industry, the tourism industry is as a whole, they are the most flourish industry compared to other industry, because again, it's a very big market out there when we talk about tourism and airline. And for the change of this year 2020, right, I think is a drastic downturn to the airline industry and also tourism industry. So like Kakak predict, it's going to take few years and for all this to recover. So that within these few years, what can we expect, right? What can we also consumer expect of this airline industry? How moving forward, are we able to travel? And if there's regulation for us to travel, how's the procedure going to be like? Is it still people are going to wear masks or not? You know, maybe Kakak can give some insight.
I believe some airlines are still like, I think AirAsia, they are running flights and they are not taking 100% capacity. Like normally airlines, because with my past experience at airlines, when we were like selling tickets, we're selling seats, we have to always sell 110%. So that's when we do overbooking. It's a norm. Now they can't. They have to do selling of 60% because of I think
safety distance lah,
safety distance. Putting seats, alternate seats. Not selling the whole row. So basically, that's why the way I look at it, it's gonna be okay. Traveling gonna be a luxury. We went through, luxury was just for the rich when we were growing up. People travel dengan suit semua, dress up well. Then now it changes. Travelers punya profile changes. Yeah, even the whole profile changes. You look at the perspective, it's a big word, but to me, I look at the passenger lah, because I deal with passenger back then. The passenger demands also changes. Like dulu fine dining, then they change to I want to go on from point A to point B as fast as I can. They don't care about food. And then one point we want to go with the cheapest fare. So now I look at this now. Traveling not going to make it easy. Traveling going to be expensive because airlines will not be able to sell their fare very low, because they cannot sell 100% capacity for the whole aircraft. So having saying that, companies who have requirement for their staff to travel, they're gonna put their traveling requirements tighter. In other words, certain grade just who can start flying, we are open into video conferencing, so you don't have to have your annual meetings. A lot of these companies will do a lot of cutbacks that will also affect the airline, because airline will not be able to sell the ticket cheap. How cheap they want, so they can't, because you cannot take off an aircraft with a loss, because you are burning fuel. Even you're taking less passenger, yes, less fuel, little bit percentage of less fuel, but to get to the distance, you still need the amount of fuel, which is costly. Even now, I think fuel rate went down, but it will still go up because it affects a lot of currency. Fuel price goes down, it affects a lot of currency. So naturally, even though we have abundance of fuel, they will still bring up the price. In fact, our petrol dah naik balik. Only for a week only it went down, Like it went up because it affects a lot of currency. So it's a domino effect lah. The future traveling will be only when you need to. That's how I look at it. Even holiday makers, as for family, who they will cut back on macam sambaran a family who travels every year Europe trip they might not do that. They will do it alternate, or they will change the destination to somewhere nearer. I have a friend who's in a hotelier. We were talking. I was telling her, because I'm from aviation, she's a hotelier. Say, aviation is the airline industry that got hit fast. We were arguing like the way, just friends. She said, that's when aviation have to start thinking far. Like hotelier, what they do, she had counterparts in China. They lifted the traveling ban. So surprisingly, the sales of the hotels the chain it went up more than usual. What the country did was to encourage internal traveling. It doesn't. I told her, you do that, it's not good for aviation, no? I said, but Federal, it helps the country's economy.
You have to start somewhere lah. So
they have to rely on their own people lah.
Yes,
like Thailand and all that.
In this case, countries that are quite big lah. Singapore, we exclude Singapore, even Malaysia lah. Malaysia, Indonesia, domestic travelling are now encouraged to start the economy back. Okay? So with that, because if international may not start or may not receive a lot of takers yet, because why? There will be a lot of restriction. For example, I've heard rumors that when we are going to open borders with Malaysia, Malaysia is going to implement some kind of fees for medical testing, for every foreigner that comes through the border. And with that, I think that will turn off a lot of Singaporeans going into JB. So that's one very simple example. So if if going to KL back then cost us between $50 to $200, now it can cost us up to from $200 to $500. And that's more than double. So somebody who wants to travel either leisurely, they will think about it a lot. If the companies that are sending people for traveling, that also have an impact because obviously companies, even non-aviation companies, some of them also may not be reaping a lot of their profits and all. So, but we have to start somewhere. In this case, like a lot of countries are now opening. Okay, you can travel domestically. So yeah, that's one thing.
I mean that is not easy. I mean this will be a big challenge for the whole world to recover our tourism and airline industry. Yeah, I mean I think a lot of effort have been put. I think a lot of planning also they have been there has been they are trying to execute bit by bit of it. And insyaAllah lah kita hanya mampu berdoa that this situation can be lifted and as soon as possible. And tapi insyaAllah lah mudah-mudahan kita pun cannot foresee what's going to happen kan. But at the same time Allah tu maha berkuasa. InsyaAllah lah mudah-mudahan Allah memberikan jalan keluar bagi kita semua insyaAllah.
InsyaAllah.
Jadi saya sorry bang.
No, you were saying something.
Go ahead. You saya berikan laluan bagi abang.
I think the biggest lesson here for me that I've learned from this pandemic is that as much as we are ever ready for changes, we have to be adaptable and all, but one of the things is that la haula wala quwwata illa billah is him that gives us the opportunity to move forward, to maneuver ourselves and have a sane mind. And that is goes without saying that we always have to rely on him.
Masya-Allah. Dan insya-Allah mudah-mudahan with all this current situation it will just make us stronger insya-Allah. Kita there's a lot of takeaways and in these past few months and a lot of character development that we have gone through and more to go through, right? InsyaAllah, and we hope for the best insyaAllah. Dan sebelum kita mengakhirkan sesi ni, kita nak berikan laluan kepada Abang Farid dan Kak Frida untuk berikan ucapan raya kan, kerana kita masih lagi suasana hari raya ni. Jadi kita tak nak mellow down on dia punya semangat raya. Jadi kita nak upliftkan dia punya semangat raya ni. Jadi nak kasih laluan kepada kakak dan Abang Farid untuk berikan ucapan tahniah kepada keluarga dan sahabat-sahabat andai. Silakan.
Okay, you go first.
I would just say
okay. First and foremost, minal aidin wal faizin wal maqbulin kullu amin wa antum bihair to all our families, our extended families, our saudara mara, our friends, all Muslimin and Muslimah around the world. Especially to you, Ustaz, minta maaf Zahir Batin kalau any shortcoming from me and my family during our course of interaction and knowing each other and all. Hopefully you have heart to forgive us for any wrongdoings. We hope everyone also in the best of health and best of iman, and hope that our ibadah during Ramadan, that Allah accept all our ibadah, insyaAllah.
Okay, selamat Raya everybody. I seek forgiveness for any wrongdoings or
yeah, we got a lot wrong.
I salah cakap forgive me, is without any ill intentions. Kan terlepas laser maaf. I this year I doa that Allah protect us all, all the not only the Islam, even the non-Muslim, the children in the world, away from this epidemic. Strengthen our iman, be more resilient. I think we have to be more resourceful as well, have more patience to handle or to deal with each other, and we have to keep on moving forward. So we all have to stay in a way united lah to move forward. Banyak berdoa lah, insyaAllah. We need a lot of guidance also.
Masya Allah. Thank you so much to Abang Farid and also Kakak Fridra untuk come down to our session, berborak-borak and meluangkan masa pada petang ini. Kita on behalf of Seekers Nest would mengucapkan beribu terima kasih dan ribuan terima kasih kepada both of you, and also on behalf of me and my wife, I would like to wish both of you selamat Hari Raya, minal aidin wal faizin wal maqbulin. Kalau ada salap dan silah daripada diri saya sendiri, saya mohon maaf, dan halalkan makanan minum saya dan keluarga saya, insya-Allah.
Allah, amin. The apa ni, what we call it just now, the greetings also goes out to your wife, Shayma ni.
Yeah, to everybody.
Thank you
for inviting us.
Masya Allah. Thank you so much for joining us and on this petang raya yang amat mulia ni. Dan insyaAllah kita harap dengan situation yang we improve, kita dapatlah mengunjung dan berziarah ke rumah Abang Farid, insyaAllah.
Hari Haji mesti kita beri open.
Hari Haji, okay, open house. Kita balas balik. Okay, signing off from Seekers Beraya, Abang Farid dan Kak Frida. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Itu dia, Masya Allah kan, tetamu undangan kita, itu Kak Frida dengan Abang Farid. Dan insyaAllah sebentar lagi kita akan ada lagi satu tetamu kan, tetamu undangan kami yang khusus kami undang pada sesi Seekers Beraya ini kan, insyaAllah. Dan sebelum kita shift tu kita punya tetamu yang seterusnya, nak bersembang sikit lah dengan Shayma. Tadi kita bahaskan about the tourism industry and the airline industry. In your point of view, what other industry do you think that now is badly hit by this current pandemic?
Of course, besides tourism, I mean, like what Abang Farid mentioned earlier on lah, it's a domino effect lah. It's all a chain reaction. So if the tourism and tourism is affected, then you have the aviation that's affected. You have the travel and tourism. Then you have the F&B industry that's also very badly affected. I mean, no doubt that people order food, from home, and then they send over and all that. But there are certain types of or certain sectors of the F&B that are more into fine dining. It's not something that you can order and send it to your house. It's not the same feeling, because fine dining is an artful cuisine. So if they're gonna send it in a takeaway box, then you will look at it like, okay, it's just a splash of sauce and a small salmon. It doesn't feel the same anymore, and in the box feels so light, and it's not meant for takeaway box. So there are some parts of the F&B that are suffering quite greatly lah, which is also of course the fine dining and all that lah. So I think also from there, right, if you look at it in comparison to fine dining and just casual dining, you can see that which one is more important. So so for fine dining has always been something of a social status, something that is highly not say highly sought after, but is highly looked upon by people yang bermampu, yang berkemampuan. So they when they go into fine dining dekat hotels and all that, so macam mereka dipandang dari masyarakat macam, oh, dia ni kaya, dia boleh afford fine dining. So now that dah tak ada fine dining, you find that what's more important is just to alas perut. Consume food. Yeah, and to satisfy your hunger. That's what's most important lah. So from there, I think we can also see the social stats that have been shifted quite greatly lah from there. Yeah, so at the same time, in this kind of pandemic, we can see that which are the type of jobs that are actually more essential, as in the type of jobs that can actually be done from home, and the kind of jobs that that are actually where people have to be out there, like the frontliners, the healthcare workers and all that, where they deserve a much higher pay than people who are working in the office and earning 3 to 4 times more than them, and their work can actually be done from home. So from there, you can see from this pandemic, I mean, this is the hikmah
Yeah,
that we
correct.
see that comes out of it lah.
Yeah. Okay. Talking about fine dining and food, our next guest ni dia memang pandai masak juga one of Shayma punya great beloved auntie, and izinkan saya mengundang.
What below one? Only one.
Oh, the only one Oh, Masya Allah.
No,
Bias
no,
This is live, you know. This is live, and takut it would spread out to all the family members out there.
The other aunties are listening.
Okay,
Sorry.
let's mari kita sama-sama menjemput dalam siklus beraya, iaitu Aunty Rohaina.
Makna.
Nama Siti Rohaina kan?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
Makna tak boleh nampak your face. Maybe you upkan
Turunkan
sikit.
your phone, Makna.
Yes. Masya Allah.
better?
Yes. How are you, Makna? Sihat?
Sihat, Alhamdulillah.
Masya
How are you?
Allah.
Nice.
Good. Alhamdulillah. Kami sihat walafiat. Badan semakin naik kerana banyak makan pada bulan Syawal ni.
Ya, betul. Me too. But today actually makna puasa 6.
Oh, Alhamdulillah. Okay, sorry. Masya Allah. Ni sekejap lagi dah nak berbuka ni.
Ya, insyaAllah.
Masya Allah. So, nak tanya sikit lah Makna kan, since tadi kita banyak berborak pasal pandemic issues dan sebagainya, kita nak tanya jugalah how's Hari Raya for you this year kan. Kita selalu berkunjung di antara satu sama lain. Hanya for this year ni agak berbeza kerana semua orang kat rumah kan, Zoom sana Zoom sini. But nak tanya jugalah your kind opinion and on this year Hari Raya macam mana kan you sendiri rasa?
This year Hari Raya actually very quiet, and I would consider very lonely lah, because tak ada orang datang, you know. Yang ada right now is just my brother and one of my nephew lah. So cuma kita 3 orang aja lah so far. So when I cook also, although I cook a bit more, but then yang makan cuma 3 orang. Then the rest I actually kasih orang lah. I kasih my sister, I kasih my sister-in-law yang dekat Teck Whye, you know. Cuma itu je lah. And then as far as cookies is concerned, I selalu order dengan Sharifah Khaira. My favourite cookies is the kuih tart lah.
Oh, sedap.
And she make it very nice. So that is my favourite lah.
For your info, Makna kita pun order juga. Every year.
Yes,
Dah,
I know.
I think dah nak habis. If allow me, if I show the Tupperware the packet tu, I think dah 1/4 dah tinggal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Order sendiri, makan sendirilah. Yeah.
My style actually, I don't eat much, so my cookies is still a lot lah. And then because today tak ada orang datang, so I didn't even bother to transfer the cookies from the original container, you know. So I just leave it like that lah.
I think this year yang buat dia totally sepi, sunyi is the visiting part lah. Kalau Zoom kita bertemu dekat Zoom berbual tu, I think dah sama macam kita berbual face to face, tapi the difference is mengunjung daripada sanak saudara kan, anak saudara kita dan sebagainya. Itu yang buat the whole first day raya tu rasa sunyi, sepi sangat.
Yes. I also miss your 2 sons lah. And you know that day when we do the Zooming, you know what did Ahmad Zain did to me?
Apa dia?
While we were talking, you know, face to face, and Ahmad Zain actually holding remote. So he
remote
was trying to switch off me while I was talking. That was really fun, you know. He was trying very hard. Press. I'm still tak. You know? How come he's still there? Very funny boy.
Yeah. I think also it's the physical interaction lah that you know that creates a big hole lah for this time of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Correct. Because the happiness of first day raya, maybe Makna boleh elaborate further lah, because lah Makna you go through zaman kampung, then after that that golden years of semangat bergotong royong and sesama keluarga dan sebagainya. We go through this year, we went through some way another, macam the first day raya tu rasa sepi because the interaction aspect that's been taken off already. Dan selalunya first day raya kita sanak saudara kalau berjumpa, kita bergembira, kita bersukaria, kan, kita beramai gambar dan sebagainya. Jadi how would you compare, Makna, because you have a lot of experience and celebrating raya in that golden years punya age tu. How would you compare raya dulu dengan raya 2020 sekarang?
Oh, so much difference. When during my younger days, at that time, your grandma masih ada lah, my mom, my parents still around. So what we did during our younger days, ialah kita pun tinggal kampung kan. Then kita masak ketupat, kita rebus ketupat kat luar, you know. And then kita, like for my mom, dia suka bikin wajit gula Melaka. So me and her, both of us, we are the one who kacau lah. Yang tukang makan biasalah, my brothers, you know. Yang tukang kacau, yang perempuan-perempuan ni je lah. As far as I remember, it's me, my sister and my mom lah. But most of the time, it's me lah. You see. Then
So
other than
leceh.
that, yeah, it's really very, very hard work. To kacau the wajit is really very hard work.
Yes.
I have no experience in kacau dodol because my mom hari raya dia tak bikin dodol. The one yang bikin dodol is my auntie yang dekat Melaka. And she make very nice dodol. Very lembut, very soft, you know. You know the chewy kind?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of dodol lah, so I wouldn't know. Maybe I'm missing out. But yeah, actually I am missing out on quite a lot of traditional kuih. Macam basically macam tak ada dimakan lah. But yeah, so I guess I'm left out lah in this conversation, you know. So yeah.
I see. Okay. Then
Sorry tadi
ada
tadi nak kena pergi attend kat Zubir sekejap kan. Zubir baru bangun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think I miss out a lot lah. But what I can get is you all bergotong royong masak-memasak time malam raya.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Kita actually anyam ketupat. And anyam ketupat at that time is myself, my eldest brother, my mom, and I don't remember my dad doing it lah. But the three of us lah, mostly is done by three of us. My third brother and my second brother also know how to do it. But my sister and that is your mom, Shayma. My sister and my youngest brother doesn't know how to do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So bila kita anyam ketupat, kita anyam banyak, you know, because at that time tak ada orang jual. So everybody has to do it themselves.
Right.
Tak macam sekarang. Sekarang is commercialized, you see.
Dah ada instant punya.
Tak ada. During my time tak ada. So
Tak ada,
sorry. You have to do it
Yeah.
yourself
No, because anyway pun kita dah dekat HDB flat, macam mana nak bakar lemang semua kan? Terbakar lah rumah.
Yes.
So it's
Yes,
not like
true,
how
true.
it was. Yes, yeah. So there are other means of making it, but the taste wise will not be the same lah. Because of the way the process of the cooking is different already.
But actually Shema, if you notice like generation macam Makna ni, dorang ada a lot of skill set yang kita tak ada tau.
Yes.
Dorang ada that experience, that knowledge on how to ayam ketupat, masak wajik, masak dodol dan sebagainya. Where
correct.
kita kita tahu makan dia, but have never been or buat that
Correct.
all of that mentioned.
Sekarang kita punya generation buat food reviews. So kita makan, and now is the generation of doing food reviews lah, basically. Yeah.
It's like,
I guess for food reviews we can appoint Shayma lah. Yeah, she's very good. She's very good in eating
that's not good for me, Makna. Good for her to savor the taste, but yalah, man, the consequences is not that healthy lah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are at home. Yeah, no choice.
Tapi tak boleh avoid pasal macam we talk about food sikit I think Mana I mean sekejap lagi pun dia nak berbuka, kita pun nak tanya juga kan apakah dia sediakan untuk buka hari ni. Jadi talking about food I think kita kat rumah ni dah lama sangat for this past 2 months and the suasana rumah ni buat kita very relax, laid back, chill dan sebagainya, sampai perut ni selalu lapar kan. Selalu lapar dan selalu nak mengunyah dan sebagainya. Jadi yalah, for you yourself, Makna, how do you find yourself and staying at home, working at home at this current time of circuit breaker? How's your routine kat rumah tu macam mana?
Oh, okay. During the fasting month, I did wake up early in the morning around 4 a.m. and then I did a short exercise about
good.
about 10 minutes. And then after that, cool down, and then I will sahur lah. My sahur pun actually very simple because I'm alone. So what I did is just ambil cereal or the other one is oat, quaker oats. It's not quaker oat actually, roll oats. I boil roll oats and then itu aja lah. That is for my sahur lah. And then korma is a must because you know the benefit of korma, right? So, but because I'm a small eater, so this thing is enough for me.
I see. Tapi usually kalau buka gitu selalu Makna sediakan apa?
Kalau buka tu a little bit more lah. Sometimes bikin sandwich. Sometimes I just buy lah. Malas nak masak kan. So I just buy. So for the past, I mean during this Ramadan, as usual, I just buat bake salmon dengan potato, and then I make apa lagi lupa lah, because mine is just a simple one.
Simple
then sometimes I go and buy, sometimes I go and buy pizza, that kind of thing lah, simple aja lah.
Yalah. Then that's mainly pasal yalah, kalau kita consume too much food pun can be very macam buat badan kita berat
That is also true, and also because I don't make much sebab bila dah makan dah kenyang, and then the rest of the day kita tak boleh makan lagi, so it will be a waste, and then to eat it again and again macam boring gitu kan.
Correct.
Yeah. But I'm one who don't really like nasi. So my dish is less. I mean, not much about rice lah. It's all roti or just a vegetable, you know, or protein, that kind of thing lah.
Yep.
Speaking about
It should
gaya,
be high in protein lah. Must have foods that are high in protein that it helps to keep you full for longer
Yes.
period of time. Yeah.
Yes. And also fruits lah. I take a lot of fruits and nuts also. But the type of fruits I've been eating is mainly mango lah, you know, apple, orange, only these three type lah. Nothing much lah.
Right. Oh, okay.
man, speaking about gaya hidup sihat makna I mean I'm very amazed at your age, masya-Allah you betul memberikan prihatin atas gaya hidup sihat, bukan setakat makan yang sihat tapi menjaga rutin kesihatan, iaitu like just now you mention exercise, bangun pagi pukul 4 pagi exercise. Is something unique kan, tak ramai daripada kalangan kita orang muda pun boleh melakukannya, masya-Allah. And you really macam menunjukkan satu contoh yang terbaik mendirikan exercise ini untuk menjagakan kesihatan. So on a personal opinion mana how much does this kind of exercise really contributed and benefit you on your daily life, makna?
Oh, okay. Actually, taking multivitamins or food supplement is also very important, especially at my age lah. Because like for myself, I don't really eat much, and then the food that I eat also I consider may not be sufficient to cover the nutrients that I need. So that's why I supplement with vitamins and minerals, and I call it food supplement lah. It's not just vitamin and minerals. There's other things also. Then on top of that, I find that after taking these vitamin and minerals, food supplement, coupled with exercise, I feel that my well-being is lighter. I don't feel so lethargic, you know, macam selalu macam terlalu letih ke apa, you know, I feel more energetic lah, so to speak. Yeah.
Usually will help you to last the whole day lah.
Yes. In fact, right, I find that doing a 10 minutes exercise in the morning during the Ramadan, right, is really very refreshing. You don't feel so tired. Really, you don't feel so tired. But of course, I sleep early lah. I sleep around, sebab bangun pukul 4 kan. So, lepas buka tu around 8:39, my eyes dah tak boleh buka already. So, I have to go to sleep. Yeah.
I see.
Your sleep is also important.
Yes, of course. Enough sleep is also important because your body need enough rest to regenerate the cell, to renew the cell in your body.
I see. Okay, very interesting.
Masya-Allah.
But
because
if you notice, right,
Okay.
if you notice that the exercise that I do is not like those youngsters, you know, very vigorous, you know. No, I don't.
Okay.
It's more for my kind or my level of exercise lah. Kata orang tu apa, tak ada lah macam cardio tinggi-tinggi tu, tak ada lah, mampus aku. I don't think I can take it. High cardio like you guys lah, youngsters lah. Cannot lah.
Kita jangan cakap cardio, mana to follow macam your kind of exercise bangun pagi gitu pun kita tak mampu nak buat.
InsyaAllah.
Inshallah. We should start already.
Maybe
It's just 10 minutes, you know.
I want to ask a very big favor from you lah, makna. Maybe boleh tak you kasih kata-kata perangsang sikit pada kita, kan? Maybe yalah, as a start pasal yalah, not many people take health into consideration macam like how you did lah macam menjaga gaya hidup yang sihat, exercise, jaga makan, tidur dan sebagainya. Kata-kata perangsang lah daripada makna. Jadi kita dengan penonton-penonton ni dapat benefit lah kan from how you practice your daily lifestyle.
InsyaAllah. Okay, for me, right, Allah dah beri kita apa kata orang tu, kesempurnaan and then for us we need to jaga kita punya kesihatan sebab Allah yang beri kita jasmani ni. What I'm trying to say that our body lah, we are given this body by Allah, so we need to take care of it. So kalau kita tak jaga, berarti kita tak hargai pemberian Allah. This is my opinion. This is my personal opinion lah. I'm not saying anybody. And also to me that I noticed that a lot of our people, orang Melayu especially, obesity is very high. And that is because the food that we eat lah. Okay. And to me, as you grow older, your leg is very important. So kalau you kalau badan you berat, your kaki tak boleh support. That is very important. So when you are young, it's okay, no problem because you are young. But when you grow old like me, the support is very difficult, you know, tak kuat. As you age lah, tak kuat. I look at my mom. My mom at that time she was already 80 something, and she is slim. She is considered slim. If not because of her cerebral stroke, she would have been able to walk on her own. But because she has that problem, so she needs someone to hold her hand every time she walk. Yeah. So because of all this, to me, health is very important lah, and you need to start from now. You have to do it lah. Sebab apa? I mean, look at my mom. She live in this world beyond 80.
Masya-Allah.
So if let's say at the age of, if I don't take care now, before I reach 80, I could be wheelchair or bedridden. And imagine if at 60 years old, if let's say I'm 60 and I'm bedridden, and according to my family punya trait, we live above 80. So you imagine, that means I have to live for the next 25 or 30 years as a bedridden person. And I wouldn't want that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is what in my mind lah. Based on the age that our parent lives. Yeah. My mom actually she can go up to 90. So imagine that means I have another 30 more years to go. So if I'm not healthy, wow, it's gonna be, very hard. Not only on me, but on my children also lah. This is how I feel. Yeah.
True. Yeah, I think whatever that we put in our body is like we are planting seeds, So if we don't nurture it properly, then it will take a toll in the later years lah.
Yes, correct.
About the kaki tu, memang you are absolutely right about that, because my mom has been nagging at me about my weight lah. Because nanti kaki cannot support my weight.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, true. So also another thing, what I can say is that I think this is also a learning lesson for me lah, because one thing I have this bad habit lah, which I want to share with everyone, is that because we work, you see, so the nature of our job, let's say as preschool teachers, is very physically, mentally draining, physically and mentally. So macam and we don't get to go out very often. So when we come back from school, we have to attend to the children, we're tired, this and that. So once a week, or when we are on leave, or when we are on over the weekend, we get to go out. We're like macam animals on the loose, because we will shop and shop till we drop, because it's a form of stress relief. And one of the downsides of that is because like in our industry, alhamdulillah, we are paid quite, not say very well, but then because of the nature of our job. So I think maybe also because of, when we get our pay, macam it's like, oh, we shop like don't know what, and we buy a lot of food, and we end up either eating a lot of the food, or we don't end up eating the food at all. So macam it's very bad lah, in that sense that it goes to waste. And at the same time, the kinds of food that we buy, because we go outside, oh, we see ice cream, kita beli, kita nampak pizza, kita nak makan, kita nampak macam, because we are like macam kita dah tak selalu dapat keluar. So when kita dapat keluar, so we cannot control. One thing is the shopping, and another one is the food, you see. So
Yes,
this is
correct.
actually an area that we should really discipline. I mean, for myself, like especially, yeah. So you can ask my mom lah. My mom also bising, because I tend to spend a lot. I spend a lot on. For me, yeah, I spend on supplements and all that. That one memang we need lah.
Yeah.
But I spend a lot on snacks, on food, and you can see my cupboard is so full, but I end up macam not eating it because nafsu. Kita nafsu makan. So I end up giving away the food to my brother's kids, the boys, because they eat a lot of all these snacks that I don't end up eating. So I even disturb them, hey, you all are like ants, So Haikal was like, oh, so we eat all the leftover foods lah. I say, no, that's not what I mean. So I was like, because it's because of my wrongdoing that that these people, like my nephews, makan and stuff like that. So macam it's these snacks lah, actually, the snacks that really
Yeah, that is true also, because the main culprit is sugar lah. Because once you start to take a lot of sugary food, right? If you don't have it, you will crave for it. So the main thing you must cut down is sugar.
Yep.
Because they are everywhere. They are in your drinks, in your food, So you really need to control lah.
I just want to check with makna satu aspect of sugar ataupun a question about it lah. For some people diorang dah biasa makan gula ataupun manusia makan makanan yang berkandungan gula yang tinggi dan sebagainya, dan glukos yang tinggi. And for some of them, diorang have this ideology and philosophy oh, aku kalau satu hari aku kalau tak makan gula, tak minum kopi, tak minum ini, tak makan ini, aku punya badan tak boleh function, badan lemah dan sebagainya. Kan? So what is the best advice kalau let's say kita nak berikan kepada orang macam gini, what would be the best substitute of glucose for them?
Oh, actually, I don't like to talk about substitute lah, because those substitute sugars, we are talking about sugar substitute. From what I understand, this sugar substitute is actually not healthy. It's not good for your body actually. So if let's say a person like to so much sugar, let's put it this way lah. If a person take his or her coffee with 2 tablespoons of sugar in a cup, and then ask yourself, one day how many cups did you drink? If let's say you drink 5 cups of coffee a day, that means you are drinking 2 times 5. That means 10 teaspoons of sugars. So you imagine your body need to process 10 teaspoons of sugar. And that is only your coffee ya.
Wow.
Belum termasuk you punya makanan. And if you notice our Malay food, maaf kata lah
Saya.
we like to add sugar. Right? Kita masak sambal tumis, kita taruh gula. Some people masak rendang also taruh gula. Everything also must add sugar. So on top of your coffee, you eat those food also contain sugar. We are not talking about carbohydrate. Carbohydrate lain macam nasi, all this. So on top of your 5 cups of coffee or tea with 10 teaspoon of sugar, you also eat nasi. Nasi also contain a lot of sugar when the carbohydrate is converted, right? And then on top of that, whatever lauk-lauk yang you masak, you also put sugar. So you just add up from there lah. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
correct.
so the thing is, you need to ask yourself, okay, do you want to continue like that or not? First you take inventory of yourself lah. You take the inventory apa yang you makan, and then what are the element of the sugar inside. So now you know that, for example, you know that you take 5 cups of coffee with 10 teaspoon, you have to cut down. Maybe you take in the morning 1 cup of coffee with 1 teaspoon. The rest of the day is just kopi o kosong. That means no sugar at all. And then with your food, again you have to cut down. Meaning that if you used to cook your sambal tumis with so many sugar inside, you have to cut down. Or you don't put at all. But I can tell you lah, the taste will not be the same lah because you are so used to it. And another thing is Ajinomoto. Ajinomoto is actually a flavor enhancer. So the more you put, the more you want to eat because it makes you crave for more food.
Sedap.
Yeah,
Make you nak makan lagi. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yuppie.
Yes, correct. So sugar and this Ajinomoto lah is something that you need to think
The
about
main
it.
culprits lah.
Yes, the
I
main
mean,
culprits.
we've had this conversation before, Mak, now when it comes to sugar intake lah. So because of the foods that we eat, I mean, no doubt kita keluar makan pun kita tak tahu the amount of sugar or the amount of Ajinomoto that was put in when kita makan luar. So a way to
correct.
in a way macam to cover that is our drinks lah that we can control. So drink plain water lah. For me, that's what that's something that like I was sharing with you before lah some time ago is
Yes.
at least our drink kita boleh control lah at some point, which is drinking plain water. So yeah.
Yes. And talk about plain water, right? We are encouraged to take at least 1.5 to 2 liters of plain water lah every day. That is to keep us hydrated and also to detox our body, whatever toxin we have in the body.
Yeah, to flush out lah, to flush out. Yeah.
Yes. But frankly speaking, how many of us manage to do that? Right?
Yeah.
I myself, very difficult to get 8 glasses of water every day. During fasting month, I try my best lah. I try my best.
Yeah.
But also
Yeah.
fail.
No, because this thing is nak kena jadi kebiasaan lah. I think that's why for us, I mean, when we have children, so we have them getting used to drinking plain water more. So that they will get the habit of it. And then when they grow older, it's in them lah to macam bila haus minum air putih, that kind of thing, instead of drinking sugary drinks. Because kalau you haus, you minum the processed drinks and all that, it doesn't quench your thirst.
No, it doesn't.
So it makes you keep on drinking more because you are liking the coldness, the chillness of the drinks and all that. So yeah.
Yes. True.
Correct. Yeah.
And then sometimes we feel hungry, but actually we are thirsty. Our body sometimes cannot differentiate. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's good to drink plain water first before you eat anything lah.
Yes, yes, good idea. Yep.
Yeah. To touch on minum air ni, tak semua orang suka minum air putih.
Yes.
Macam Ana cakap, it's very hard to drink eight glasses of water a day, and
Yes.
even for some, dorang kalau nak minum 8 glass of water, it will be 8 glass of soft drinks. I think it will be easy for them to drink.
True. Yes, that is true. That is
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Itu I can testify on that, because kita kalau first day raya normally kalau the previous years kan, kita first day raya easily 10 glass of soft drinks on that first day. Easily.
Yeah, yeah.
And pergi rumah satu persatu kan, and then it will just start the frenzy lah. The soft drink frenzy.
So being at home, this is the hikmah lah, I guess. You know, being at home, so we don't actually have the opportunity. I mean, not say opportunity lah. We can just go down and buy. Tapi we can just drink plain water. And orang tak ada orang akan tersinggung, asal tak minum air aku, that kind of thing, because we are at home and kita boleh minum air putih and stuff like that. So yeah.
Imagine first day raya. Imagine first day raya. Sorry. Yeah. Mana? Silakan.
Yeah. Then on that note, right, from now on, I'm going to buy mineral water lah. So whoever come, no more soft drinks
I was just about to say that, Mana. Imagine first day raya, you bring your own water bottle. And then you go to rumah-rumah orang ni, orang jemput minuman, tak apa, saya ada water bottle air putih.
Yeah. Or maybe one of the circuit breaker rules is to ban all the soft drinks and the sugary drinks and all that. Baru orang nak ikut peraturan, kalau tak, we are guilty of it also lah.
Yeah, I mean, talking about food is habit lah, Mana. I mean,
Yes,
I think
it's
you will
habit.
agree. I think you will agree, Kalau kita break that habit, insya-Allah kita dapat kawal badan kita dalam banyak area dalam kesihatan,
Yes. It's not easy lah, but there are articles about clean. They call it clean eating.
Clean eating.
Yes, clean eating. So what it meant is that you eat non-processed food lah. Clean eating is to eat, to avoid as much as possible processed food, and your body will learn, or rather will become better.
Yes, your body gets accustomed to it lah. Yeah,
Yes,
adjust. Your
yes,
body will
yes.
also adjust according to it. Because we have also heard of, for me in my own experience lah, many years ago, like we meet all kinds of people. So there are some or a few of them who actually confess that tak biasa minum air putih. Like really tak biasa langsung minum air putih. Even kalau nak makan ubat pun tak boleh telan dengan air putih. Sampai gitu tau. So macam and this I think it goes way back lah, in a sense that macam from young memang dah tak biasa minum. So it dah boleh terikut, you see, until we grow older lah. So this drinking plain water also is a habit lah.
Yes. Yes. I notice, right, if let's say you drink mineral water, right, compared to air pipe yang you masak, there's a difference, So, so air pipe yang kita masak tu, sometimes the taste also cannot, you cannot swallow lah. It's true lah. So you have to, so you have to ask yourself lah, kalau air masak tak boleh, then maybe you try air mineral ke,
Yeah.
But some people say too much air mineral also no good. So I really don't know. maybe you mix it lah. Maybe you mix it, Maybe One day ambil air mineral, besoknya ambil air putih ke, yang
Or
bukan
there's the
mineral
filter
ke.
jug that they sell, that we can consider also lah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because air masak is considered air mati because you boil it, you see. It's not
Oh.
live. Whereas air mineral is air hidup. They call it air hidup. It's alive. Because there's mineral inside. So that's the difference there lah.
Yeah, because when you boil, a lot of the nutrients it goes down with all the boiling lah, betul tak?
Yes.
Masya Allah. Oh, tu nampak tu si kecil dah bangun.
Yeah, I saw. Ahmad Din.
Introducing Ahmad Zain.
Sorry.
Okay. Yalah, Masya Allah. Actually, we have a very long discussion about food and nutrition with our beloved Makna here. And for our viewers out there, and cuba kita mengamalkan, isytiharkan dan mengamalkan gaya hidup sihat yang telah diberikan nasihat daripada our dear and beloved Aunty Rohaina. And insyaAllah kita nak berikan laluan kepada Makna kan, untuk berikan ucapan lebaran, kerana kita masih lagi dalam semangat Hari Raya ni. Jadi saya harap Makna juga boleh berikan kata-kata perangsang semangat Hari Raya kepada keluarga dan sahabat-sahabat Makna sendiri dan kawan-kawan dan sanak saudara di luar sana. Dan insyaAllah saya berikan Makna laluan lah untuk berikan ucapan Raya. Silakan Makna.
Okay, my ucapan will be ringkas sajalah ya. Saya mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya kepada semua kenalan saya, terutama sekali kepada adik-beradik saya, juga kepada ipaduai saya dan juga anak saya yang berada jauh di Abu Dhabi, Siti Faridah, orang ada Faridah Alkaf sekarang nama dia. Saya juga minta maaf saya batin kepada semua, dan stay home and stay safe, dan jangan lupa minum air 8 gelas setiap hari. Terima kasih.
Oh, Masya Allah. That last advice really meant a lot lah. Okay, Makna, thank you so much Makna for coming down on kita Seekers Nest session. And really appreciate Makna meluangkan masa untuk bersama kami live di sesi Seekers Beraya ni.
Terima kasih juga kepada both of you kerana beri Makna peluang untuk berbual-bual dengan you all, dan juga terima kasih kerana sudi menjemput Makna dalam your session lah.
Masya Allah. Thank you so much again Makna. Thank you so much. Okay, just before kita end kita punya session, just for our viewers out there, hope you all enjoy Nari punya live session. Dan insyaAllah for this month of Syawal, this will be our last Seekers Beraya. And just to update kita punya viewers out there lah. And insyaAllah nantikan our future session of Seekers session dalam Seekers Nest Media punya Facebook page. Dan pada mereka yang sedang menonton, insyaAllah kita akan ada juga, kita akan continue dengan kita punya Coffee with Ustaz punya session insyaAllah, bersama dengan Ustaz Anuar Hussein. Dan insyaAllah kata akhir daripada kami, please stay safe, stay healthy, minum air 8 gelas tiap-tiap hari, jangan lupa
Yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Waalaikumsalam. Bye. Stay